It's 9 days to election. I remain your humble boy, Ton the Creator. Yes, I'm back again. Happy New Month. Yes, it's always our civic right to decide our fate for the next 4 years as Nigerians. So, as a youth, what are your predictions for the election? That will be my topic today. My topic sensitively on the election. What is your prediction about the election? Who do you think will win? Who do you think has the right mandate for us? And who do you think the people, the masses, would vote for? Also with that, NUC directives for all schools should shut down for the next 3 weeks for the general elections. Do you see the 3 weeks as an achievable time for schools to come back or not? So that will be our point of topic in today's discussion. Let's go down into it. Our predictions. Predictions don't really matter, but it's just a speculative method of knowing what you think will be the best for you in the next 4 years. As students, whatever decision we make right now determines our fate as students for the next 4 years. Now, let's not be biased. Let's be factual. For those in the private schools, whatever decision that comes right now to be your next leader or that applies to you may not really affect you in a way, but may also affect you in a way. Simply meaning, if the economy of the nation should go bad, those in private school, you will raise the whole issue of increment in school fees, and most parents may not be able to afford that. But let's not go there. Now let's fix it for those in the federal universities, polytechnics, and state universities, whereby if the government is not able to meet the needs of lecturers, they end up going on strike, where we see youths that's to study courses for 4 years finish up their courses in 7 to 8 years. Show that our educational system is not actually balanced or substantial. Now the prediction will actually go a long way for us. Now it's 9 days to election. We've been receiving a lot of questions and say, do you have your PVC? Have you gotten your PVC? Now, majority have said, who have been to INEC office, have said that majority of people that registered for INEC for PVC are majority youths. But we see that most of them, their PVCs has not been collected. Now we want a change. How do we drive to that change? As a youth, we all know that 4 years may look small, but counting the 4 years with our government that will be beneficiary for us will help us achieve the best. Now, for those born in 2000 to 2004, 2005, you may have the opportunity to participate in these upcoming general elections. Yes, you have the right to vote. Since we were kids in the secondary school, even from the primary school, we've always had the topic on elections and knowing our civic rights. Knowing fully well that at the age of 18, you are allowed to vote in any election because you are legally tendered as an adult. Now, Nigeria as a country, do your vote count? Is a question many people ask. Do my vote count? If I'm to vote, do what I vote for come out to play for me? Every election we always have the ups and downs, but it's how we take it and how we are vigilant to protect our vote that matters. You can't just vote and go back to your homes and sleep and expect, my vote to be counted. You have to be vigilant and watch out for your vote because there is no how. There will always be people to rig the elections. Now, predictions. Well, this year election turned out to be a fun play, knowing that it was not just the regular 2 major political parties running for the presidential election. Now we have 3 factors: the APC, the PDP, and the Labour Party. Now we see that majority of the youths are going for Labour Party. Most of the adults are in between the APC and the PDP. Now, predictions, if you were to follow it up. Checking by statistics, most campaigns have been pulling crowds, but most crowds are not actual voters. In the majority of the crowds, you can say out of 100%, 43% would have their PVC, and the remaining 57% would not have their PVCs. That's actually a very low turnout to every presidential election. Now, we have 3 candidates. Some who have been looking for power for the last 12 years, or who have been pursuing power for the last 16 years, and those who are just coming into the race for presidential elections. And we as the youths, we have always advocated for a younger president, a younger person in power, and we should not really do the olds. Now, not doing the olds, yes. I would take, for instance, Peter Obi, the youth's choice. Does he have what it takes to be the next president? Yes, he does. But does he have what it takes for people to vote for him? We tend to make use of social media to campaign, but most of us campaigning for a better change do not deserve the change because we do not want to make that change happen. Why do I say this? Most of us campaign without our PVCs. Then what do you do during the election? It is not anything to write home about. And my predictions, I do not have any predictions. Mine is to do my civic rights to vote. And whoever wins during elections, well, my fate depends on who wins. But I will want the people's choice to be heard. I want the youth choice to be heard because it's the youth choice that determines my future. My future and my children are unborn. Because whatever decision I make right now affects what happens in my future. Now to my second question. NUC's directive for all schools to close down for 3 weeks for the general election, is it achievable? Sorry to say this, but I have a question to ask the government. NUC is bringing out a 3 weeks agenda for students to go back home for the general elections. But no actual plan was made in the 2022-2023 academic section, which had a time rule for the election. Most schools, I must see, had plans to run academic sections during the elections. Most schools did not have plans on sending their students back home to go and vote or perform their civic rights, which is a very bad appall to we as Nigerians. Now we are sending people back home in 3 weeks. A lot of people have their PVC scattered. Some did their PVC while in school. Some did their PVC while at home. So if you are sending people back home, those that did their PVC while in school tend the risk of not voting in school, in which their voting does not count. While those that did their PVC at home, if you tend to put them back in school, they tend to lose their voting because their voting selection or local government polling unit is back home. Now, back to the main question. Is the 3 weeks achievable for we as students? I'm a student, and I must say, 3 weeks. As a Nigerian, you put many factors in place. Okay, the general election is in 9 days' time from when I'm shooting this video. Now, exactly next week, Saturday, the general elections will hold. Basically, there's 2 weeks for me to be at home. There's 2 weeks for me to know who my next president is. And it's a 2 weeks of knowing whether there will be chaos. We do not pray for chaos, but it's Nigeria. A lot of people want to fight for their votes. Then we now talk about talks, paid talks. A lot of people going to tribunal. Will the road be accessible for students to return back? It's not just for the academic session. It's for your students to be healthy and healthy to come back for that academic session. I won't want a case whereby students are being killed on the way or kidnapped due to they want to return back to school to complete their academic sections. So is the 3 weeks achievable? In my own time, no. Why? As a youth, I'll be scared to come back to school, applying the Nigerian road in which we know is very insecure. It's not everybody that have the money to afford flights. Those are meant to even follow road, risk bad roads, banditry, insecurity, and even the so-called police even harass us on the road. So why should I risk coming back after 3 weeks? Even I'm not sure of what the country will look like. But we just hope for the best. And that is why we as youth have to vote. A lot of people do say, I don't have anything to do with politics. Whether you like it or not, you're a politics yourself. Because you're a monopoly of your own game. You're a chess, you're a pawn. By the time you don't vote, you are helping the bad government get into place. By the time you vote, you are doing yourself well. Whoever gets into power, we make the choice. We determine what we want for the next generation. I just hope that with all this I've said, we make the right choice during the polls. So everyone get your PVC and vote the right government. Vote lasting progress, vote good values and corporate change. And see you all after the election. Goodbye.